Hey there everybody, welcome to this LEGO Room update, which today is on the gorgeous Emerald Knights LEGO train set 10194. I'm actually coming to you from my kitchen today because we've got a bit of work going on in the house and this was the only space I could find that would allow me to showcase this amazing set. So this model is based on, I believe it's based on the Royal Scot steam train, which I've had the pleasure of seeing myself in real life. It's one of the things that got me into LEGO trains. And the set 10194 is utterly stunning. I've built hundreds and hundreds of LEGO sets, but this is absolutely my favourite. Something about the design of it, something about the way the internal mechanisms work, the dark green colouring, the smooth curves, even the coach is just wonderful in terms of its colours and the features it's got that I'll show you in a second. And of course you may have seen from the title of my video, I've modified this set. And you might think, Mark, you clearly are in love with this piece of LEGO. Why would you ever want to modify it? Well, that's because I think LEGO did something really bad with this set in terms of how they want you to add the power functions. But let me come on to that in a bit. I've just noticed there's a bit of an echo in here, so I probably sound even more odd than I normally do, so apologies for that. But let's crack on. So I mentioned there's lots of things going on and cool features of this set. Inside the coach is space for minifigures to sit. There's even a little set of drawers where they can put their briefcases and things. And again, just as I mentioned before, it's the colouring that really makes this work for me. Lots and lots of old-fashioned Great Western coaches around where I live, and this looks identical to them. It's absolutely wonderful what they've done. And then another feature I'll just pull out now is inside the cab is a little fireplace. I'll show you it in a bit more detail, but essentially the train driver can stoke the fire as he drives the train and goes along. Right, let's get on to the reasons for changing this set. So I'm using the manual to show you why I feel there is a huge need to modify this let from the official LEGO instructions. So in terms of making the train move, this one takes the old LEGO power functions, which consists of a motor, an infrared item which allows the train to talk to the controller, and a battery pack. So there's quite a lot to squeeze in, and the way that LEGO suggests you do it is by, firstly in terms of the battery pack, is plopping it straight into the tender where it's on show in all its ugly glory, and then in terms of the motor, which is wired along into the main unit, to put it in such a way that number one, you have to strip out the really cool fireplace that we just mentioned, and number two, it leaves you with no space for the driver to go. So I think that's a pretty bad design. So that was the reason why I felt the need to modify it, and I would suggest that anyone who's got a LEGO city and wants to use the Emerald Knights in their city, motorised, they might want to do the same. So let me show you exactly what I did to make those modifications, and I'll just pause there on the official picture. The first area on the tender, as you can see, I've hidden the battery as best as I could, so that involved raising this up by one piece. I've added in a rail for effect, and these black circular one pieces are supposed to be the coal effect. I think it looks okay. I do experiment with covering this up even further, but it just made things look a bit odd, although I'm sure there are lots of clever people watching this that could probably do a better job. And the battery pack is under here, so I can lift this bit off, turn it on, turn it off when I need to, and it still communicates with the remote control. So the battery pack really is pretty much covered up, which is great. And then you can see the wire which goes through to the main steam train. So for my motor, I've actually pushed my motor forward inside by two pieces compared to the official direction. That freed up a bit of space here, but I also had to make the cab area one unit longer. So this is an addition and that's an addition. What that means is the roof doesn't overhang by the two units that LEGO suggest, but down here, and I'll just pop over to the side, you have space for the driver, and B, the Lego fireplace, which is just about there, so that you can actually open that and there's a little firepiece inside, and I would show you, but it will take me ages to fiddle with it, so take my word for it. So what that means is the train is motorised with less battery on show and driver on show, which is great. So that is the key reason why I felt the need to modify this set. What do you think? Have I been too fussy? Could you do a better job? I'm sure you will let me know in the comments, and I'd love to hear what you think. There was one other little modification I did, and that's because the Emerald Knight, wonderful though it is, has a rather huge turning curve. So it's quite a, if I just pop it off a bit, you can see that as it goes around corners, the front wheels lead and the unit follows afterwards. So that means it needs quite a big turning curve to get around buildings, and where my city is very tight, I've had to place these windshields one unit back compared to the official build, so it hardly makes a difference, but I thought I'd point it out. And by the way, these windshields, what they do is they stop the steam in a real engine from travelling backwards into the driver's view, so they force the steam back up the middle and up into the air so the driver can still see where he's going. So if you are into Lego trains, and let's face it, who isn't, I'd recommend taking a look at GJ Bricks' YouTube channel. He's a bit of an expert on Lego trains. He's recently modified his high-speed train, and he knows a hell of a lot about this subject, and he's really quick at answering comments. So if there's anything you ever need to know about Lego train, he's the man to go to. I'll put his link to his channel up at the end of this video. And I think we have reached the end of the video. So as I mentioned, I'd love to hear from you if you think I've done a bad job, if you think I've done a good job, if you think it's pointless. Please do let me know in the comments. Let's have a good old discussion about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really appreciative of everyone who watches my videos, and to everyone who's subscribed. Thank you again. If you haven't yet, click that button for me. I've got a host of content and ideas for videos coming up in the next couple of months. Bye bye.